Hello everybody. A couple things to address. Obviously, first off, I am not in the snow, which is very exciting. This tree is way bigger than any tree in the Yukon. I am currently in British Columbia on Vancouver Island visiting my mom and my sister and my Nana. So currently just on a walk to the ocean right now, and I am warm. It's crazy. The sun has warmth. It feels so nice. Second thing, you might be wondering, Erin, what the heck is on your face? I got surgery on my face yesterday, just like a minor surgery, but that's why I am down in BC. I had to fly down to Vancouver for the surgery, and yeah, I can tell you guys a bit more about that later on if you want. It currently hurts. I got it done yesterday. I have my granddad's backpack, so filled it with a book and my film camera, and yeah, thought I would take you guys with me on my little ocean side adventure. So let's go. It's actually quite misty out today, which is kind of pretty, kind of spooky. I really like this trail because you walk through so many different types of areas. Like, we're in a bit of a farmland area now. We were just in like a rainforest. I think eventually it gets quite treed up here. We'll be back kind of in the rainforest, and then it opens up to the ocean. So the ocean is honestly one of my favorite places on the planet. It makes me feel so peaceful whenever I'm near the ocean, and people probably would be surprised by that because the Yukon doesn't really have an ocean. I mean, we have the Arctic Ocean, but it's kind of hard to get to. And you can get to the Pacific Ocean through Alaska, but you know, it's kind of hard to get out that way sometimes, and you need a passport and all those things. So I think I'm going to make sure that I start prioritizing getting to the ocean more often, because it really does just make me feel so happy and so much better. I have always been obsessed with the ocean growing up. Whenever we would go on like a family vacation and we would be staying on the beach, if it was like a hotel or a house or whatever, the first thing I would do when we got to our like place where we're staying is I would put my bags down and I would run to the beach. This is like my thing when we go on warm vacations, and I've done it ever since I was a kid. I just like loved being on the ocean and putting my feet in the water. And then when I lived on Vancouver Island in Victoria, I went to UVic. Whenever I was, you know, upset about something or needed to like think things through or just needed to be alone, I would put some headphones in and just go to walk around, and I would always find myself at the ocean sitting on a bench staring out at the water. It was just like my place where I could think and just be. I do miss that living in the Yukon, and yeah, I definitely think I should maybe try and prioritize that more in my life, because I mean, I have family here. It's easy enough for me to come down and visit, and it also just makes me feel so much happier too. Sorry, there's a plane flying above me. Like some sort of fairy portal or something. Like if I walk through it, I'm gonna end up in like Narnia or something. Snow here. It was worth a shot. everybody, it's the next day. If you can't tell, I'm currently just in the spare room at my mom's house, and I thought I would do a little haul of things that I have gotten on this trip, because if you can't see this big pile, there's a lot of things. Some of these things are things I bought, and a bunch are things that are just passed down from my mom or my nana, so I thought we could just go through really quick. Also, update on my chin. I took the bandage off. I don't know if you can see the stitches. It's quite sore still, but I think it looks pretty good from straight on, so it's good. So first off, I bought this coat. It's just like a long kind of puppy coat, like a spring one. It is fully reversible, which I really like. I found this today and I just loved it. I'm trying to buy only things that I find are like unique and feel like me, and I'd never seen a coat like this before, so I love this. I'm so excited for slightly warmer weather in the Yukon so I can actually wear it. Then you would have seen this earlier in the video, but my granddad's backpack. I used to have a little point and shoot camera and it broke, unfortunately. So I asked my mom if she had any, and she did have this one. So I'm gonna try this. It's just a Lumix 24mm. So seems to work pretty well, and we're gonna try it out. I went to my Nana's house and she said she had 2 books for me. So this is Trilby by George du Maurier. I've never actually heard of this book, but my Nana said it was quite a good one. So there's that. And then Around the World in 80 Days and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, like a double kind of combo book. Both of them are just like really nice kind of old covers and stuff too, which is lovely. So thank you, Nana. My mom also gifted me just some body lotion that she had that she wasn't going to use. This nice little wooden bowl, because she knows that I like these for like decorating my house and like using in the kitchen. And a Christmas pudding. I decided that I wanted a Christmas pudding this year because I wanted to start having more traditions, and this was a big tradition growing up for us. We'd have Christmas pudding and custard after Christmas dinner, and I asked my mom, like, how do I make a Christmas pudding in like December or mid-December, and she was like, you need to make one in September. So I couldn't find one anywhere in town, so my mom bought me a Christmas pudding, and it technically is okay until January 2027, so I'm gonna save this and have it at Christmas. Then for a couple things I bought, I went to this bookstore. Oh, actually no, that's a lie. There's still a couple more books and things. So this one has a bit of a story. I asked my mom about a specific book probably like 2 years ago, and all I remembered about this book was that I read it when I was a kid. There was a white dog that got lost in the snow and a black dog that got lost in the night. And that's all I could remember. I asked all my friends. I knew it was like a Yukon book, like a book that somebody in the Yukon had written and illustrated, so it wasn't like a popular kids book. I knew it was probably from the 90s, and that was it. I asked a bunch of my friends if they had heard of it. Nobody knew what I was talking about. My mom kind of knew what I was talking about, but nobody could remember what this book was. I looked at local bookstores, never found it. So all the books from our childhood are in the crawl space. So I had to crawl around in the crawl space yesterday for like an hour and sort through. There were 5 big totes full of books, and of course it was in the 5th tote that I pulled out. I was covered in dust. I had to take my bandage off early because my face was getting so itchy. It was like horrible, but I found the book. This is it. It's called Fireweed by Marguerite Verse, and obviously I forgot about the cat, but we've got White Dog Lost in the Snow, Black Dog Lost in the Dark, and it's about this kid who always loses his dogs in the winter, and he wants an animal that he won't lose, so he gets this purple cat, but of course the cat gets lost in the fireweed. So I found this, which is really exciting, and it actually has a inscription on the front, Aaron for Christmas 1995, from a very close family friend. So found this, which is very exciting. Solved a mystery that was like 2 years in the making, so have this. It's coming home with me. And then I also just grabbed Alice in Wonderland and The Secret Garden from the book stack because these are kind of nice, funky, classic looking ones. So, okay, now on to things that I purchased here. So I went to a bookstore because if you don't follow me on Substack, I am currently obsessed with Anne of Green Gables, and I wanted to just go into the local bookstore and support them, but also see if they had like a funky edition of Anne of Green Gables. They did not, but I did find a couple other things. So talking to the woman at the bookstore, like front desk, she said one of her favorite books, if I liked Anne of Green Gables, is Heidi, which I've never read before. So I got this pretty edition of Heidi. And then I saw this tiny little edition of The Secret Garden, and I just had to buy it. Look at how tiny it is. It's so cute. And I've never actually read The Secret Garden. I bought this before I found the one in the book box, just so you know. So didn't mean to have two. And then I found this really cool Pacific Northwest line drawing book, and it has all these little like step-by-step instructions on how to draw little like flora, fauna, and different like landscapes. So I am super excited about this. I've been wanting to get more into like drawing, so I thought this would be a great way to do that. I also went to the big Chapters store here. Our bookstore is quite small, so it's always fun to just like go in there and like browse. So I just got Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. I've been wanting to read this for a while, and they never had it in stock at my bookstore, so just grabbed that. I also bought a bunch of West Coast seeds. Ooh, I will do a full video about like the seeds that I'm gonna be planting and stuff, but bought some of those. Then I went to Michael's. We don't have like a big craft store in Whitehorse, so I always just like going in there and like looking around because there's just so much stuff in there. So I got just this like stamp thing that has all the different like letters and that you can stamp. I've been looking for one for my scrapbooking, so got this. And then I bought these two big scrapbook pad things. One of my goals for this year is to actually scrapbook officially, not just junk journal, but like buy a scrapbook and do layouts and stuff. So they have just all these like really funky pages in them. So I got this like gardening one, and then this kind of like western one. Last but not least, because I am gonna have a bit of a scar on my chin and I want to reduce the look of it as much as possible, I just bought some vitamin E and this scar fading cream, and then I'm also going to get that like silicone tape thing too. That's a lot of stuff. I don't know how it's all gonna fit in my suitcase, but it's been a very fruitful trip. I can't believe I forgot to mention this. I also bought a wedding dress. Obviously, I'm not going to show you guys it, but yes, we went into a thrift store, and the very first dress that I tried on, it just like fit perfectly, and I really like it. There's a couple things that I kind of want to do to it, and I don't know if I'll actually end up wearing this exact one. It was 150 bucks though, and I was like, I feel like it's meant to be. So yes, I bought a wedding dress as well.
Including delicious breakfast, baked goods, and freshly brewed coffee. Be sure to visit Pasadena.